Hello YouTube family, how are you all doing? Welcome back to my channel, and it is almost November, so let's talk about it. And in this video I'm going to use a blend of the numerology, tarot and some Vedic astrology insights, so if you're interested, keep watching. November is a number 11 month. It is the 11th month of the year, plus for this year of 2025 it is also a number 11. When you add up 11 plus 2025 you get the number 11, so it is like 1111, really lucky, really powerful. 1111 is this number of you are attracting what you are thinking, and you are creating and manifesting as you speak. Like, just so potent and powerful in terms of, like, you are a magician. You are creating your life every second. Like, everything is just happening as you think it, as you speak it into existence. It is happening, it is creating, and it's not in a way to be fearful of if you're having like any sort of negative thoughts that they're gonna come true straight away, but it is just to show you how powerful of a creator you are. And we are always creating our reality, and it's the universe now is giving us that message that right now we really need to take responsibility for the thoughts that we're thinking, the focus that we are putting on things, and the belief systems that we have, and all of the sort of energetic blueprint that we are creating constantly each second, because we are creating our lives and we are forming the connections and the experiences through our mind, through our thoughts, through our beliefs, and through the energy that we are emanating because of all of that. That is ultimately the frequency of 1111. 11 is also double the energies of the sun, because the number 1 is ruled by the sun. And in numerology you add up the numbers to get to the smallest possible number to tell you the energetic frequency of that month. So it is a number 2 month ultimately. So it's double the energies of the sun with number 11, but then it is also number 2 month, which is ruled by the moon. So it's when we think about it like that, it is like double the energies of the sun, which in astrology, or Vedic astrology at least, the sun is all about really being in our authority and knowing our power and really shining our light and really showing up and being the main character of our life, which is so aligned with everything I was saying with the 1111. And because it is the number 11, it's not the number 1, it's like double the energies of the sun. So it's like doubly important for us to really stand in our power and be the authority figures of our life, and to really make sure there's nothing dimming our light, dimming our sense of being able to stand up for ourselves and do the things that we want to, and be courageous and take center stage in our life and do all of the things that we need to do for ourselves. And then the number 2 is the moon, which is all about our inner world, our emotional world, our inner psyche, and how we feel, and everything that's going on internally. And the moon in Vedic astrology is probably the most important planet, because what is going on internally is literally creating our life. So yeah, that is really the energies of this month. And the sun and the moon are the father. Sun is the father, the moon is the mother. So there is a lot of energy that I see coming up to remind us to make sure that we are reparenting ourselves in a really healthy, loving way. And a really good journaling question or reflection question for this month of November is to really reflect on your sun and moon and your inner parent, your inner mother and father, and if you are mothering yourself and fathering yourself in a healthy, loving way. And if there is any room for improvement there. And the sun and the moon, I also see that as another really good journaling reflection question, is to look at if your divine masculine and feminine energies are in balance and in harmony, because we all have that in us, masculine and feminine, and we all need to have that in balance and harmony. And I feel like majority of society, it's crazy, like the masculine and feminine is just like, what that even means, it's just so, there's a lot of work to be done, I feel like, for a lot of us. So it's something to really reflect on, and there's a lot of layers of healing that come about just from those simple questions. And in tarot, the number 11 is the Justice card, which is all about that balance I'm talking about. And the Justice card is ruled by Libra, and you can see the scales of Libra, which the actually, I don't know if this is a man or a woman, but they are holding the scales. And it doesn't matter, it's not about gender really. We all have masculine and feminine energies within us, and we all need to have that in balance and harmony. And we all need balance and harmony in our life in general when it comes to all of the things going on around us. And yeah, it's just something to reflect on, like how can we create more balance and harmony in our life. And the Justice person is also holding a sword in the other hand. So yeah, in that hand there is a massive sword that this person is holding, and the sword indicates the need to really cut out and really be strong with your boundaries and cutting away at anything that isn't true. So cutting away all of the illusions and the distractions and basically all of the bullshit that prevent us from living a really authentic life. So that is the number 11, Justice Tarot. And then the number 2 is the High Priestess. So these are the two archetypal tarot themes playing out in November. And they're both similar because they're both sitting in front of a veil. They're both guarding some sort of truth that these two priestesses are able to really see the truth. So the Justice is able to see this truth that is beyond the illusions that tend to come up with humans. We tend to be attached to these truths that maybe aren't really true. It's like our own perspectives that can be really biased at times. It can be really attached to certain belief systems and programming that is not true, but we believe it is true. And how do you actually know that anything is true? And the Justice card is like this energy of seeing things from a higher perspective without any bias and without any sort of attachment to some sort of belief system or some sort of programming that is maybe making you feel safer but isn't actually authentic or true or healthy. So the balance, I mean the Justice card wants us to have more balance, and yeah, it's just this higher understanding of what is actually true and being able to have that discernment. And the High Priestess is similar because she's also guarding this veil, which behind that veil is all of the hidden, suppressed, shadowy parts of ourself, which in order to be able to discern the truth like this Justice card, we need to be able to tap into this High Priestess energy where we're allowing and accepting and feeling through all of the shadow stuff that we tend to hide behind this veil. We need to feel comfortable in all of that shadowy stuff, which there is a lot of Scorpio energy coming up in November, and we'll have the last new moon at the end of November will be in Scorpio as well in Vedic astrology. We'll have Mars and Mercury most of the month in Scorpio, and the Sun will be in Scorpio midway through the month, and Mercury will be retrograding for most of November in the sign of Scorpio. So even our mental, the way that we communicate and the thoughts that we're thinking, the belief systems that we have, which is all to do with the throat chakra, our thoughts, our communication, the expression that we have, all throat chakra related, which the High Priestess, she is wearing blue, and the blue is the throat chakra. So it's all about our expression. And the Justice card is holding a sword, which is all about expression and truth as well. So there's a lot of that, and a lot of need, because Mercury will be retrograding. That's going to be a massive influence. Jupiter will also start its retrograde on November 11th until March 12th next year. So there's two massive retrogrades happening starting in November. So we will have a lot of going back in time to revisit, to review, to reflect, to really be in this High Priestess energy of allowing the hidden, suppressed, repressed things to come up, to feel, to heal. The first full moon for November is happening on November 5th in Aries in Bharani Nakshatra, which I will make another video about soon. And Bharani is ruled by Venus, but in Aries it's also ruled by Mars. So there's that message again about the need to balance our masculine and feminine energies. And also this message is really strong about honoring the powerful feminine energy within us, which is so powerful, because all of this Scorpio energy this month, Scorpio is ruled by Mars, but Scorpio is this water element, which is, water is feminine as well, and there is this Mars within the feminine that is strong and courageous, emotionally strong and psychically and spiritually strong and courageous, and able to be a leader and to take charge and to be a soldier, warrior, defender, protector, like Mars is, but in the feminine, within the realms of feminine energy, there is warriors within us. And this sign of Aries, Bharani, being the first full moon, is also, I see as like such a strong warrior woman energy, because Bharani, literally the symbol is the yoni, and the deity is god Yama, who rules death and rebirth, and it is like this portal of literally a rebirth that we're undergoing throughout November. And it is clearing, purifying ourselves and realigning, recalibrating really, really fast. Like I was saying in the beginning of this video, the 11/11 energies is that things are just accelerating and moving really fast, and we are creating and manifesting. And Bharani is like that too. It is this energy of, we are kind of like with the full moon energies, we are clearing and releasing. But with the Aries energy, it's also creating something new. And with Bharani, it's literally like giving life to something new. It is a portal or a void of something is being created and in the works of being birthed into life. So it's very powerful, it's very potent. And then at the end of the month, on November 20th, we have the new moon in Scorpio. Of course, Scorpio new moon following the Aries new moon, both ruled by Mars, there is a lot of emphasis on healing our Mars and Mercury, because Mercury will be retrograding, but Mars, especially being in the sign of Scorpio, Mars does well in Scorpio, but not in the more external ways that are more visible and seen. Mars in Scorpio is more low-key and more doing the hidden psychological shadowy work that doesn't always get recognized or even noticed or like seen in this external world. It's more of that high priestess energy. This one here, of this stuff going on behind the scenes that is, in my opinion, more important than the things taking place on Earth. Like, we need to first clear all of the shadowy parts of ourselves, because we are creating here on Earth what is like what has been or what hasn't been healed within us. So this Scorpio new moon happening on November 20th is happening in Anuradha Nakshatra, which Anuradha is ruled by Saturn, Scorpio ruled by Mars and Pluto. So there is some really intense energies moving towards the end of the month. For our new beginning to take place is going to be a lot to do with what comes up with these retrograde energies, with Mercury retrograding in Scorpio, and the things that we want to clear out and leave behind, the belief systems, the thoughts, the things that we tell ourselves, and the communication and the expression that isn't aligning with our truth, what we're going to leave behind and what we're going to bring forward with us. And yeah, really reflecting towards the end of the month on how we can be more authentic and more discerning and more connected to people in a more devoted way, as well as being devoted to ourselves and still being able to maintain really strong, healthy, long-lasting, but also balanced and harmonious and healthy, loving connections with people who deserve that, and being able to discern where we need to have more distance and space and boundaries with people who don't deserve our time and space and energy. Because Mercury will be retrograding for most of the month, it starts its retrograde on November 9th and ends on November 29th, so basically most of the month. And we are currently in the pre-shadow phase where Mercury is getting ready to retrograde, so our batteries in a way are kind of slowing down. And usually with Mercury retrogrades, it's when we need to actively avoid ourselves from getting burnt out or getting too tired and pushing ourselves too far, because Mercury retrograde is the time when we are asked to really slow down, even though maybe life may be testing us to see if we can listen to our bodies and listen to our needs, and it may be harder to slow down. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to stop doing everything and just hibernate. If you can do that and you feel called to do that, then that is amazing, but I feel like most of us don't have that ability to be able to do that. We have other commitments and priorities. So just, yeah, my recommendations or advice during this time is to just listen to your body as much as you can, to make sure you're really parenting yourself really well and nourishing yourself and being disciplined in the things that are good for your soul. And also just, you know, sleeping a little bit extra if you can, taking extra naps when you can, taking it easy when you can, but also recharging and refueling your soul in like beautiful ways, like catching up with friends, going to events, doing fun things when you can as well, because that is also re-energizing yourself in so many ways. And we're getting towards like holiday time, and it's like, even though Mercury retrograde is a time when travels can get delayed and things can go wrong, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't travel. It's just pre-prepare for things to be delayed, and you know, just have a book in handy in case your flight takes a bit longer than it would. Like, things can definitely have more mistakes coming up, and really make sure you're saving, double triple saving things on technology, because everything is consciousness, and all forms of consciousness is going to need a break and is going to be slowing down. Like, you may notice that your phone is charging faster and dying quicker as well right now. You may notice that things are glitching online because everything is sort of slowing down. The consciousness of AI as well is like reflecting back to us what's going on within us as well, I feel, and we're just all like needing to just take it easy when we can. And if we're not, then like life is gonna make us do that. So don't let it get to that point where you have to be like forced to slow down in some really dramatic way. Like, listen to yourselves and do what you can when you can, and be prepared for people from the past to reappear in your life. Not just like friends and ex-partners, but also like with Jupiter being retrograde, maybe people who you've seen as teachers who've been like guides to you in your past can reappear, which is interesting. And it might not be that those guides or gurus or teachers reappear in your life specifically, but it may be that certain teachings that you've learnt from those people resurface in your life for you to see in a different perspective. And the same thing with your ex-friends or like childhood friends, or you know, people from your past. It may not be that they specifically reappear, but you might start having more dreams and more experiences that reflect something that's happened to you in the past for you to review in a different, new way, which is always fun and exciting, because life is like, you know, spiraling, and we are definitely vortexing up, but there's also going to be a little bit of going back this month in November, which is, in my opinion, I'm pretty excited for it. I hope that all of the insights that come up for you all are really fun and easy and smooth, and I hope that you're all able to have a really fun month, and I hope that there's the healing that takes place is done in the most loving, nurturing way for you all. And I'm gonna try and make the next full moon and new moon videos ASAP, so that you can all prepare for that as well, with enough time to really have an idea of what's to come this month. Because with Scorpio energies, I feel that it is really nice to just have an idea, have a broader picture idea of what's going on, because it just helps psychically to tap into the energies and really help in and assist you in the healing journey. And yeah, sending you all my love, and I will speak to you all soon.